The peasants are up in revolt. That's right, the peasants are revolting. They got the pitchforks out because of the Colonel's video trashing the Explorer. That's right, the Rolex Explorer, the garbage that it is, and the peasants are all writing in. That's right, they're leaving nasty and vicious comments. And look, the Colonel has to respond. So before we get into it, on the wrist, we have the Rolex Turnograph, two-tone 1970s, vintage, and yeah, actually, because the peasants who are writing in their English, I had to put on my, actually had to put on my Savile Row suit, just so, you know, so they feel better. So yeah, this is actually from one of your people's finest tailors on Savile Row with a real royal warrant. That's right, unbelievable but true. Oh, I forgot, I'm sorry. Paired with these vintage malachite cufflinks, yellow gold, bespoke Neapolitan shirting, and of course, the Rolex Turnograph. Now, don't try this at home. Look, I'm a professional aristocrat, full-time aristocrat. Don't try this at home. Now, we got Adrian Barker, is it? Bark and Jack, writing in that poseur. The poseur is writing in. He's got nasty things to say. We're going to get into that in a second. Now, here we go. A fine English gentleman, Suck the Box, that's his name. He's saying, if the Explorer is good enough for Roger Smith, it's good enough for me. And FYI, Explorer has the same exact movement as the Oyster Perpetual. Yeah, no kidding. No shit. Yeah, you can buy this for $3,500, right? The Turnograph, $3,500. Or you can be a tomato can and pay, you know, I don't know, $8,000 for a shitter Explorer that's made out of, you know, tomato can metal, right? That's a basic bitch watch. Or you can have a real watch with a timing bezel, that's right, the rotating bezel and a date, as used by the U.S. Air Force. And by the way, yes, this was given to the to the Air Force Thunderbirds, the Aerobatic Elite Squadron, and also to Ace Combat Veterans. Actually, I got this watch. It was awarded to me for shooting down 5 MiGs over the Gulf of Tonkin in 1969. Yeah, I shot down 5 MiGs, and I was given this watch, and it's still ticking today, has never been serviced. Now, unbelievable but true. You can get this for $3,500, or you could be a tomato can and buy a Rolex Explorer. Now, it's interesting. He talks about this guy, Roger Smith, this wanker. I'm going to do a video on this wanker, this grifter, Roger Smith, later. But so I'll explain to you this, because you're an amateur, okay? You're an amateur. So let me explain to you how this works. Okay, Roger Smith actually does beautiful work. I mean, it's not original. He's basically copying stuff done in the 17th century. He's refining it. I mean, it's beautiful. This is probably the best out there in terms of quality craftsmanship. You know, look, the British have really gone way downhill. Everything they do is garbage these days. I mean, you know, has anybody ever bought a Range Rover? You know, it's unbelievable. Has anybody actually flown on British Airways? By the way, I'm going to be talking about British Airways later. British Airways. I'll talk about British Airways later. The garbage that is, that piece of shit airline, the best in Britain. That's their ambassador. Now, why does Roger Smith wear an Explorer? You know why? If you know anything about fashion, okay, most fashion designers wear all black. That's right, because they're dealing with color, fabric. They have to be creative all day long. They're dealing with patterns, colors, textures, all that stuff, right? When they deal with their own personal life, they don't want to make any decisions. They want to be relaxed. Roger Smith is basically doing this type of stuff, this guilloche, all this very complex stuff. That's why he needs a basic bitch watch on his wrist. And, you know, he probably just got it. Okay, Rolex Explorer, whatever. He's not original. The guy's not an original thinker. He's a basic bitch like you, okay? That's why he got a Rolex Explorer. Probably because James Bond had one, or the Sir Edmund Hillary wanker story. You know, look, all these Etonian sodomites, they all think like, they have no originality. Look, everything in England has gone way downhill. You know, look, I'll give you an example. Look, this suit, I'm not mentioning the name of this tailor, but I actually previously, and I've been using this guy for about 20 plus years now, I tried to get a suit made by Anderson and Shepard. You know, that's one of your finest, right? Your finest craftsmen who make suits for your buddy Chuck, right? King Charles, right? The guy completely screwed up the suit. I had to go back 5 times for fittings. The neck, there was a collar gap, couldn't fit. And the trousers, though, came out unbelievable. The trousers were great. Why? Because the English, you know, look, most of them have a predilection for sodomy, and, you know, my ass looked unbelievable in the trousers. No, seriously, that is not a joke. The trousers were unbelievable. The jacket was a disaster, and, you know, they had to give me a refund because it was a disaster, you know, and, I mean, they were embarrassed, I guess, because they couldn't get it done right. But that's English craftsmanship for you, right? These days. And your country is overrun by third world migrants. So that is what is going on. It's no longer England, okay? Look who's running the country. You got an Indian as the prime minister, and you got Pakistani as your mayor in London. Those are the people that you guys were ruling just a couple of years back. And by the way, look, the Americans had to bail out the Brits. How many times we won the war in? Oh, here we go. Here's Bark and Jack, that low-life grifter, that poseur. Look, let me just give you a little history. The U.S. That's right. The Americans they kicked the British ass in 1776, 1812, saved their ass in World War I, World War II, and also Vietnam. That's right. If I hadn't shot down those 5 MiGs, all those Brits would be speaking Chinese right now, okay? Or they'd be speaking French or German or whatever other shitter third world country languages. Look, in a couple of years, they'll all be speaking, Pakistani or something. Now, here is the main grifter himself, this poseur. This guy, look, this guy has no original ideas. Now, let's see what he writes. Let's see what he writes. I just want him to embarrass himself. So here's what Bark and Jack writes to my video. This is so painfully awkward to watch. This takes me back to what YouTube was like in 2010. Oh, before Bark and Jack came along, YouTube was a wasteland. Oh yeah. Lacking in class and humility. That's right, lacking in class and humility. Well, listen. I know. Look, all these Brits, they all have that, fake, humble, that self-deprecating bullshit humor. Look, I'm a fucking aristocrat, okay? I am a professional aristocrat. You're a peasant, okay? I don't need to be humble. I'm wearing a Rolex chronograph. That makes me a professional aristocrat. I'm also an ace combat veteran. I shot down 6 MiGs over the Gulf of Tonkin. That's why I got this chronograph. This is a real military watch, right? Not some wanker Rolex worn by a fake British spy. That's right, James Bond is a fictitious, I can't speak English that well. Fictitious British spy. He's a homosexual drunk, like most Brits. And look, I know you want a spanking. I know Bark and Jack. I know you want that spanking. I know you want to be bent over daddy's lap and you want to get that spanking. You want to get paddled. You want to get caned. Because look, that's what the Brits are into. They like to be spanked. They love to be spanked. They love that over-the-knee spanking, just like the Germans love those Scheißfilmen, the Scheiß films, right? Look that up if you need to Google that to know what that is. But look, this guy is very unoriginal, humiliating, classy. This guy's like a wannabe aristocrat, whereas I'm the real deal, right? This guy, I think he's hanging around George Bamford too long, that other grifter who basically does ghetto versions of Rolex. I mean, it's like George Bamford should be putting on 32-inch spinners on a 1987 Rolls Corniche. That's what that guy should be doing next. That low-life degenerate. Now, okay, so here's his other point. He's got 4 points. Look at this. He's very organized. This Bark and Jack. Flexing a Patek in the way, yes, I had the 30 on 40 on, is like flexing a Merce on finance. Common, and lacks class. Wait, hang on. Let me see. Common, and there we go. Common and lack. Look, Bark and Jack, I'm sorry, we're not aristocrats like you. We're just commoners. We're just common peasants. Come back when you've got a GFRSLF. I don't know what those are. I actually have a Bentley, but actually, here's the good thing. My Bentley is made by Germans. That's right, because you Brits don't know how to make machinery. I would never buy a British watch. The British do not know how to do machinery. The Germans do. That's the one thing the Germans know how to do. The British don't know how to do anything. The country has gone downhill. So the reason why Bentley has become a proper car company is because the engine is a VW engine. That's right, it's a VW Volkswagen 12-cylinder engine, and all the electronics are German. That's right, electronics. That's something the British don't understand. If you have ever had a Range Rover, the electronics are all screwed up. And you know what? I'll give you a quick story. Why did the British, the Range Rovers, had electronics problems? I think the CEO of Range Rover they called him the Lord of Darkness. They called him the Lord of Darkness because apparently the headlights were never working on the Range Rovers, and in response, this guy, he probably was Bark and Jack's father. He's probably Bark and Jack's father. Bark and Jack is probably illegitimate, like most Brits, like most British wannabe aristocrats. They're all illegitimate. So the Lord of Darkness, they called him that because they told him, hey, the headlights aren't working, the electronics are screwed up. And he said, oh, a gentleman doesn't drive after dark. So that's what's going on with Britain. Okay, so he's doing comparisons, S-Class, Defender. He's trying to be like a hipster with Defenders. Okay, yeah, okay. And again, Miggs, he didn't understand it. He didn't understand what I was saying about that if you want a real Rolex that's affordable, you get the real deal. You get a chronograph for $3,500 rather than being a wanker and getting a wannabe, a fake military watch, a fake watch, which is the Explorer, or you can get the Air Force watch. U.S. Air Force, shooting down MiGs. This is what you wear when you shoot down MiGs. Or you can wear an Explorer, which is what you wear when you're wanking off to, James Bond films. That's what these guys are doing. Now, again, he goes, oh, Roger Smith. Oh my God, Roger Smith. He does the Roger Smith comparison. Oh my God. Roger Smith, a watchmaker far superior to Patek. Where's an Explorer? Oh, does he? As does another one of his watchmakers. Does that make Roger Smith a peasant or lacking horological knowledge? Okay, I answered the question about why people, in fashion or whatever, they wear something very basic in their personal life. So you, my friend, know nothing. I know you're trying to be a hipster. You're a mattress peddler. You're peddling dirty mattresses. Before you created a watch channel, jumping on the coattails of the Pontiff of Brisbane. That's right, the Pontiff of Brisbane. And look, you're just a poseur wannabe mattress peddler. Now you're spruiking shitter watch straps that are actually worse than this garbage that I have on the wrist. I don't know why I haven't replaced this. Look, you are no Camille Fournier. You are no Jean Rousseau. You are no ABP. You are pure garbage, okay? Your straps are made by Chinese children in sweatshops in Vietnam that are paid in rice, okay? Because the Brits, you think you're still a colonial power? You think that you're still ruling the world? Nah, you guys are pure garbage. You're overrun by third worlders, just like the guys who are ruling you. That's right. The servants have now become your masters. Oh, by the way, did we know that you drink? Did you tell us that you drink coffee? That's right. Bark and Jack drinks coffee. Wow, did you know that Bark and Jack drinks coffee? Bark and Jack is cool. Bark and Jack. Oh, and Bark and Jack goes on ski trips. Wow, look at this in Europe. Wow, and Zermatt was it? Oh, Bezel. How to use a compass Bezel. Oh, IWs. Look at this fucking wanker. How to buy watches on eBay. He's trying to do this thing here. He does these videos, actually, which are quite good production-wise, with like 3 other wankers. They're doing like a little circle jerk, like a boarding school, like they do at boarding school in England. These guys do a little circle jerk at boarding school. And so there's actually, I forgot what it's called, but he's got a show where there's like 3 wankers, but they sit around. The production value is actually very good. The content is garbage, but he's got that Bamford guy that punts Bamford, and basically these guys are kind of like wannabe Guy Ritchies, okay? They're Guy Ritchie wannabes. They try to do that bullshit humor. Oh, and they got the 3 lads. They got the lads. Oh, we're all different. Oh, we all get along. Look at this Guy Ritchie has no originality. He's got the same fucking formula. He's got like 5 guys. They're all different colors. They're all different cultures. Oh, and they all get along in a caper. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's the same format that he copied from, I don't know how many other American movies. What a wank. Oh, by the way, did you know he drinks coffee? Do you know he drinks coffee and talks about not cigars, excuse me, that's the other guy. That's Nick Fawkes. Nick Fawkes is not a wanker. Nick Fawkes is the real deal. Is that Fawkes or Fawkes? I don't know. I heard it's Fawkes, but I thought it was called Fawkes. But listen, English is not my first language. I'm an immigrant. I'm an aristocrat still, but yes. Look, I don't know how to call Nick Fawkes, but Nick Fawkes is the real deal. Adrian Barker is a peasant mattress peddler who drinks coffee. He wants to impress us by drinking coffee. I guess the Brits think that's like a cool thing because it's an American thing. They're trying to be Americans, and that's how they're cool. And most Americans are drinking coffee since they're like, I don't know, 14 or something. I think I was drinking Dunkin' Donuts when I was 16, whatever. But listen, all these Brits, they're all obsessed with, class and common and, because they're all trying to brown nose. Adrian is trying to brown nose his way up the social ladder. That's right. Adrian is a peasant. He's a peasant degenerate trying to brown nose his way into getting a Rolex chronograph. Okay, now he goes on to wank on wank on wank, mount. You know, this, he's not, Adrian, listen, you're not very bright, okay? You're really not too bright. He goes into all the stuff. Rolex, you know, move, 14.2, I don't even know what that is. Movement, pathetic. Listen, I don't know. Look, listen, I don't know about these things. But yeah, no, Roger Smith does make better watches than Patek. But yeah, he does it by hand or whatever. Or he's got some Chinese kids in his little sweatshop making the watches. But so what? Would you pay 600 grand for this garbage? This is a Breguet wannabe. I'll do a video on Roger Smith later. The guy's a low-life grifter, in my opinion. Okay. Now, that is all I have to say. All you punters watching, leave your nasty and vicious comments below. And look, I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can learn to become a professional aristocrat. Okay, right now a lot of you peasants are you know, your window lickers, crayon eaters, and tomato cans because you're getting scammed by this guy. You're getting scammed. You're getting scammed by these lowlives who are on the take. That's right, they're on the take. They're all on the take. These YouTube influencers. This guy, he's insulting me. He's saying my Rolex collection is dusty. Whatever, Philip. Yeah, that's right, these grifters. Don't trust these grifters. You don't know what's going on with these guys. These wannabe poseurs, these mattress peddlers that think that they are all of a sudden professional horologists. You, son, are not a horologist. You, son, are a mattress peddler who has graduated to selling shitter watch straps. Worse than this. That's right. Unbelievable but true. Anyway, see you punters on the next one.